What's up, guys? Figured I'd give you an update on both the Colt and the Prefect today. I didn't get a whole lot done this weekend. I've been sick for a week straight in bed, so past 2 days of the first days I've actually been moving around. But we got the airlines all ran. It ain't pretty yet. I gotta tuck some stuff, but coolant line is ran. You can see the bottom one a little bit, but I'll show you inside. Got the coolant line coming out of the pump. That runs up to the block. Got the air lines coming out of the tank. One going over to my shift solenoid, and the other one goes up to the MAC valves. So we at least made some progress today. Last week, Todd got the struts done for the wing. They're pretty sturdy yet. We ain't going nowhere. And then we got someone that's going to come do the wiring, I think, which I'm happy about because I didn't want to touch the wiring. I'm not an electrician. I shouldn't touch any auto wiring because I suck at it. I started on running the line for the catch can. Coming from the back, I got to tuck it under the header, make sure it's not touching down there, but then it'll come up in 180 into this one. The other one, we're going to run out here, probably down the tubular K member back over to the back side. And then I just ordered a new power glide for it. I was going to take all my good parts out of my broken power glide and put in an aftermarket case. I decided I didn't want to tear that apart, waste more time, and who knows, I could pull it apart and something could be broken in the valve body, something could be broke anywhere from the accident. So I decided to just buy a brand new transmission, be done with it. I'm gonna end up pulling those parts out of my my old glide, and I'm gonna try to find another stock case. I'm gonna put together a stock case deal with all my parts, and that'll end up going in Amanda's car because her car's a longer build, got more time to mess around with it, and if something's broken, it's not a big deal. I'm not in a rush. I'd really like to have this car running and moving in 6 weeks. Really, I want it in 4 weeks because the first race of the year around here is in 4 weeks. But if I get the car together and we just get it running and moving a couple days before the race, I'm not going to go because I want some actual test time in the car. I want to get comfortable in it. We rushed everything last year, and obviously it didn't end the greatest. So I'd like to do things a little bit different this year and not rush. Take our time. But in 6 weeks we're going to Carlisle Import and Performance, which is just a giant car show in Pennsylvania, something different and fun for us to do. We've gone like three or four times over the past few years, so I haven't been in probably the past 2 years, 3 years. So we want to do a trip down there, do something a little bit different away from racing, just kind of after having a long, just tiring winter of trying to get this car together, kind of just want to go down and relax for a weekend. But once we get back from that, if this is running and driving, then we'll go immediately to trying to test and figure out what we have to change in the car and what's left of it. But trying to think, I think that's pretty much everything that we got done today. We're gonna take a trip back to the house, and I'll show you what I got done on the Prefect last night into this morning. I did a few things on that, so stay tuned. Alright, we're back in my garage now with the Prefect. You can see I got front end dropped out of it. Pretty much everything is out minus the brake lines and odd and end stuff like that, but it's pretty much cleaned up in here. So now we gotta wait for the motor to show up. The adapter plate for the power glide is on the way, so I'm hoping that adapter plate should be here next week. The motor, I don't know when it's going to be here yet. And then we're going to use our dummy transmission that's sitting in the Colt right now put all that together and then try to shoehorn it in this engine bay here. I mean, you can see there ain't much room, but probably gonna knock that wall out, knock this one out, and then figure out from there how to route the turbo and all that good stuff once we get it actually setting down an idea where we're going to mount the motor. I have a pretty good feeling we're going to have to push that firewall back. And then I got the rear end is completely unbolted now. Laying here down on the ground. I mean, can't show too much, but I mean, it's a little crusty, but for being a 1959, it's pretty clean. Once we get it sandblasted and stuff, we'll see what's actually bad under there, but I'm happy with it so far. We got the dash all out. The steering column I pulled out with the with the front end. I had left all that connected since we're not using any of that. It was just easy to drag it all out, but I had to cut out the rest of the wires here, get the trim out. Then apparently that's a heater box, and I don't know a lot about it, but I was told that supposedly it was rare for this year to have a heater box, so I'm not going to keep it just because if I'm going to put heat and AC in it, I'm going to probably do a newer setup, something updated, something that's got climate control and is a little bit better than that, obviously. I pulled the tranny and the motor out of the trunk, got that out of the way. There's still some stuff back here I got to sort through, but I'm going to start putting everything in totes. Since we're not keeping any of that stuff, I'll put it in totes, put it all on Marketplace, which, I mean, there's not many people building 1958 Ford Prefects, so who knows how long it'll set in totes and on Marketplace, but I'm sure eventually someone will be looking for parts for it. Then I got to get the upholstery off the doors out. We plan on doing, well, reupholstering all that. I don't know what we're doing for color or pattern or anything like that yet. I think it's going to come down to once we order seats for it and kind of figure out a color scheme for the car, then we'll figure out what we're doing interior wise. The glasses all got to come out. And then I think that's pretty much where we're at for it. I don't think there's a whole lot more. I mean, pretty much it's all the chrome stuff, the window glass, and the rest of the interior coming out, and then the car will be ready to get powder coated down, or yeah, not powder coated, sandblasted down. And then probably we're gonna fix whatever's rusted on it, and then probably put a layer of primer on it just to keep it from getting any surface rust while it sits. I mean, we don't plan on this car getting painted for it, probably gonna be 2 years. I mean, this is gonna be our slower build, but I'd like to get all the actual metal on the body straightened out and good, be able to cut the back out in the tunnel. The wheel tubs, obviously they're gonna get stretched out. It might just be one big hump across the whole back. We don't know yet. It depends on once I get the rear end underneath, and then figure out what back spacing tires we're going to use. Then I'll know if we need to just hump the whole back. I mean, it's a small rear end, so, and being such a narrow car, I'm sure that the tires are going to be pushed in pretty far, so we might just hump the whole back. And then, like I said, firewall wise, we're gonna have to push some of that back. The tunnel is gonna have to get completely cut out. There's no way a glide's just gonna sit in there comfortably. What would be really nice is if maybe I could chop around here and slope this up and just have a big, like, run the tunnel right into the firewall somewhere up around here, just so we have all that bell housing space and everything. But then a little bit of the factory floor. I mean, we plan on carpeting the car anyways, And I know a lot of classes want to argue on if it's got factory floor, doesn't have factory floor, you know, all the stupid little things to decide, is it a street car? I mean, you can drive it 700 miles a day, but all of a sudden this one place says, oh, well, it doesn't have a factory floor, it's not a street car. Oh, it has a tubular front end, it's not a street car. The way I see it, if you're driving around everywhere with it, it's plated, it's got turn signals, it's a street car. Just everyone wants to bicker just so they can say that they have a faster street car because it's more street, and anything else that beats them obviously isn't a street car, it's a pro mod. But that's kind of the life we live nowadays in this country, where everyone needs a participation trophy. They're the best at this one thing, but it only matters because it's that one thing. No one else can beat it, because if they do, then, you know, they're a cheater, and that's where we're at. But I think, yeah, pretty much that's where we're at so far with this build. The Colt, once we get the wiring done, like I said, I really want to have that done and running in 6 weeks, because we're leaving for Pennsylvania for a weekend for Carlisle there. This one, kind of just taking our time with, which sad thing is I got this stripped down in 2 days pretty much, on and off. And I'm making more progress on this half the time than I am the Colt, but we're going to hopefully jump on the Colt and just focus on that for the next few weeks. I mean, until the motor gets here for this, and then we'll do a little bit with this, but I really want to have the Colt running and be out actually testing and trying to do some racing and getting some good videos for you guys there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're at right now. So thanks.